Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. In this video, I will be going over the new 4K Ultra HD pre-orders for March 4th, 2022. Now keep in mind, release dates and technical specs are subject to change. If there are any changes or additional retailer exclusives, I will update them in a future video and the channel's community page. And also, you can purchase many of these online at places like Amazon, BestBuy.com, Deep Discount, and more. On April 5th will be the 2022 release of Scream. Now, the official specs have not been actually released, but I expect HDR at the very minimum and a Dolby Atmos audio track. I will update this in the future on the community page if there are any changes. Best Buy will have an exclusive 4K Steelbook edition of Scream. I'm very impressed with the artwork. This is going to be the version I will be going with, and it is currently up for pre-order over on BestBuy.com. Also on April 5th is the latest from director Kenneth Branagh, and that is Death on the Nile from 20th Century Pictures. It will have HDR for the grading and a Dolby Atmos audio mix. This is currently not up for pre-order on Amazon or other online retailers. I expect that to change within a matter of couple of days, so check this one out on 4K. It will be up soon. The big release coming out on April 12th is Spider-Man No Way Home on 4K from Sony. This movie was huge. I cannot wait to get a physical copy of the latest from the MCU, and it will have several different retailer editions. The standard slipcover, which is going to be available at all your local and online retailers. This 4K disc will contain HDR, Dolby Vision, and a Dolby Atmos audio mix. I have to say, I'm not really crazy about the standard edition artwork, but for those that don't collect retailer exclusives, this is the edition you'll be going for. The Target retailer exclusives is currently up for pre-order over on their website, and it should be readily available in stores on that Tuesday. It looks to be containing some collectible cards and unique artwork, so if you're a fan of it, pick this one up on April 12th. Walmart will also have an exclusive at that particular retailer, which is currently available on their website. I have to say, out of all the retailer exclusives, this artwork is probably my favorite. I really like it, and I may double dip on this particular version. But yes, Walmart will have this in stores and on their website. And finally, Best Buy will have an exclusive 4K Steelbook edition at that particular retailer. As a Steelbook collector myself, this is a no-brainer. I will be absolutely picking this one up to add to my MCU Steelbook collection. And I really like the artwork too. I think it's pretty solid. If you're picking up any of these retailer exclusives, let me know in the comments section below. Most of these are currently up for pre-order at the various websites listed. On April 26th is the classic musical Singin' in the Rain. This 4K edition will contain HDR for the grading and a DTS 5.1 audio mix. I am very excited for this release. Classic movies always look gorgeous on 4K, and it does not appear that any retailer exclusives or steelbooks will be coming out, but if that changes, I will update that in a future video. On May 3rd is the release of Smokin' Aces on 4K Ultra HD. No official specs have been released as of yet, but it does seem that HDR will be the grading. And as for the audio, I expect at the very least a 5.1, but I wouldn't be surprised if a Dolby Atmos was accompanying this release. I have seen this movie, I think, one time. I don't remember too much about it, but I will be certainly checking it out. It appears that Best Buy will have an exclusive 4K Steelbook edition of Smokin' Aces at that retailer. As a Steelbook collector, this is right up my wheelhouse, so I'll be probably picking this one up. When the listing goes live, look to the community page. I will post it there. Scream Factory Shout Factory will be releasing several titles on 4K in the month of May. First up, The Craft from the 90s is getting a release. The official tech specs have not been announced, but if you're going by typical Shout Factory standards, expect HDR and Dolby Vision for the grading, and I kind of suspect we'll see a Dolby Atmos audio mix. When that's confirmed, I will post that over on the community page, but I can't wait to check this one out again. It's been a number of years, so let me know if you plan on doing the same. Also on May 17th from Shout Factory is the long-anticipated US release of Escape from New York from director John Carpenter. We're expecting HDR and Dolby Vision for the gradings, and the audio specs have not been announced, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a Dolby Atmos track. I am very excited for this release to finally come to the US. It was briefly up for pre-order over on Amazon, but it has since been taken down, but I expect it to go back up very shortly. I cannot wait to check this one out. I'm very excited. Let me know if you plan on picking it up for yourself. May 17th will also see the release of the sequel, Beverly Hills Cop 2 on 4K. It will have HDR, and unlike the original film, it will contain Dolby Vision for the grading. A DTS 5.1 audio track will accompany this release. I can't wait. I really like the sequel, so I'm excited to check this one out on 4K. As part of the Paramount's Presents line, their first 4K release under that particular line will be The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, which is getting an Ultra HD. It will have HDR for the grading. Now, no audio specs have been announced, but I wouldn't be surprised if we just saw a 2.0 and at the very least a 5.1 track. I can't wait to check this one out. I'm a big fan of the film, and it's great to see Paramount's Presents expand into 4K Ultra HD. Another release by Paramount in the month of May is Infinite, starring Mark Wahlberg. This sci-fi adventure film will have HDR and Dolby Vision for the grading and a Dolby Atmos audio mix. Now, the 4K disc was released internationally several months ago, but US customers will finally have a chance to pick it up on May 17th. I saw this one on Paramount Plus. I wasn't a big fan of it, but if you liked it, you can pick it up in mid-May. Arrow Video will be releasing the Neve Campbell and Denise Richards film Wild Things on 4K Ultra HD. There will be a few different editions of the film. First up, a limited edition, which should be readily available at your online retailer and over at Arrow Video's website. For the tech specs, Arrow Video will be providing HDR and Dolby Vision for the grading and a DTS 5.1 audio mix. I really can't wait to check this one out on 4K. I think the grading should make this film really pop, and I'm excited to pick this one up. With the May 24th release of Wild Things, there will also be a Steelbook edition. I expect this to be readily available on Amazon and other online retailers. So yes, if you're a Steelbook collector, pick this one up. I kind of like the artwork, so this will be the version that I probably will go for. And finally, there also seems to be a limited edition Steelbook of Wild Things. I think this is going to be a Zavi exclusive. I don't have confirmation on that, but if you want the limited edition swag and all that stuff and the Steelbook, this version is the one you should go for on May 24th. On the same day, Shout Factory Scream Factory will be releasing the original Candyman on 4K. The specs have been announced for this one. It will have HDR and Dolby Vision for the grading and a new Dolby Atmos audio mix. I'm very excited to check this one out on 4K. I can't wait. Let me know if you plan on picking it up for yourself. And the last release on 4K from Shout Factory in the month of May is Life Force. Just like the previous releases, it should have HDR and Dolby Vision for the grading, and no audio specs have been announced, but I would expect at least a 5.1. I think I saw this movie one time years ago, so I'll be revisiting it for the 4K release. On June 7th, Sony will be releasing a Steelbook edition of The Bridge on the River Kwai. Now, this is not going to be a repressing of the existing 4K disc. This will be a new Dolby Vision graded release. So if you have the previous edition, it only contained HDR10, but it will also have the existing Dolby Atmos audio track. This will be in Steelbook form only. I'm not very crazy about the artwork, but I think for a new Dolby Vision pass-through, I'm excited to check this one out and buy it again. Also on June 7th from Sony is the long-anticipated single release of Lawrence of Arabia on 4K Ultra HD. If you remember, this was previously only released as part of the Columbia Classics Collection Volume 1, but for those that have been anticipating a single edition, now is your opportunity to pick it up. It will have HDR and Dolby Vision for the grading and a Dolby Atmos audio mix. I reviewed this movie as part of the Columbia Classics Collection. It's very impressive. I think you'll be very happy. Once again, the artwork is not the best in my opinion, but I think those that have been waiting, you're going to be happy no matter what, and I highly recommend you pick this one up on 4K. And finally, Blue Underground will be releasing Uncle Sam on June 21st. It will have HDR and Dolby Vision for the grading and a new Dolby Atmos audio mix. I have never seen this film. I'm kind of curious, so I think I'll be picking this one up, and Blue Underground normally does a fantastic job with their discs, so let me know if you plan on picking this one up on June 21st. So those are all the new 4K Ultra HD pre-orders for March 4th, 2022. If you're interested in picking up any of these titles, I will leave an Amazon link in the comments section below. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. But also let me know, what of these that I talked about are you picking up for yourself? In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.